Okay, hello guys, welcome back to She's Got Muscles, the podcast for girls with gains.
Yes.
Excuse if you're watching this on YouTube, we just finished a workout. Nadia's actually in the middle of her workout, and I snagged her to record this,
Yes.
so that we can get it out to you. And just let everybody know we are listening to. See, and I did it. Okay. We are trying to listen to your guys' comments and recommendations. We got a recommendation comment of not clapping when we talk, which is me, because that's I'm a clapper when I speak. And then Nadia will hopefully stay close to her
I
microphone.
know. I tend to do.
Yeah, so that you can hear her a little bit better as well. So keep up the comments going. Let us know how we can improve because we're making this podcast for you guys. And so we want to listen to your guys' like concerns and needs and wants and all that and make those changes so that we just become a better podcast, not only for ourselves, but for you guys as well as listeners.
Today is all about Zandri. So we're going to interview Zandri.
Yeah.
And I just want to know, I think everybody wants to know, how do you start your fitness journey?
My fitness journey. Yeah.
Yes.
So, and a lot of people call me Z. So for my peeps watching who know me as Z, that is my nickname here. But my fitness journey actually, so when I was growing up, I was not fit at all. I hated PE. I hated running. I hated doing any type of physical activity. Although I did horseback ride for, I want to say like 15 to 16 years.
That is hard.
Yeah, so I showed a lot of like horses and everything. I worked with horses. I had my own horses, but that was the only kind of like physical thing that I did. I went to school, went to college, graduated in spring of 2020, which was, if you guys don't remember, was like the big months of COVID. So COVID hit. I kind of did some odd jobs. I substitute taught after schools opened again in the fall. I worked at my retail job, was also a horse tack store. So I wore a lot of hats just trying to like figure out, because I didn't want to open up my own classroom, because I went to school, if you didn't know, to be a high school science teacher.
Shut the front door.
Yeah.
Seriously?
And I got my master's in it as well. So I was going to go to a completely different path. And then the next year in like March 2021, I gained a lot of weight. I was very close to 200 pounds.
No way.
Yeah,
Wow.
I was shooting very close. I was probably in the high 180s. And I just kind of like told myself like, I'm done. My brother was still in school and he started doing strength and conditioning through his high school program. And just to be like a super supportive big sister as I am, I decided to like, our family got a plan at the community center. And we just kind of started going there as a family. My mom would go on the treadmill. My brother would start lifting to help him in his like strength and conditioning class. And I just kind of like followed around. And eventually I kind of liked it a little bit more. So I would like YouTube videos, TikTok videos, Instagram videos.
In having a support system is important because you were supporting your brother
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
Now he's supporting you.
Yes. So
Crazy.
I ended up loving lifting and the idea, because I was always a big kid. Like I was always a big girl. So when you go into the gym and you're like lifting heavy, being like bigger was kind of supported and celebrated in terms of like moving mass. So I kind of fell in love with that, and I didn't go to the gym wanting to be like skinny. I wanted to lose a little bit of weight. It would have been a perk, but I just ended up really wanting to be strong.
So what motivates you?
I think back then there was a lot of things, the motivating of losing weight, spending time with my brother, finding this new like sport and hobby that I was falling in love with. Because if you don't know, when you're in the horse industry too, it's hard. There's a lot of politics involved. It's a lot of like who has the money, who doesn't, who do you
Yes.
ride with. It's very political. And when I found fitness, I was at the point in my horse journey where I was so tired of being beaten down and told, well, I'm not riding with this person. I don't have this type of horse and I don't have this much money to like pay for this name and all of this. And I was tired
Serious.
of doing my best and knowing that I was at my best, but not having that reflect in the sport. So finding another kind of hobby outlet that didn't have that.
So you went from horse training to a trainer. Can you elaborate how you start being a trainer?
Yes. So I
See, I'm doing the hands again.
I know it's fine. The hands are fine. I think it's the noise. But so when I started my fitness journey, like working out March of 2021, in the summer there was a like women's boot campy gym that opened up close by my home. They had a pre-sale. I signed up. You know, I was like, women empowerment. I'm really excited. And they started classes in September.
Okay.
I started that, loved the environment, loved the workouts and having somebody push me because I was just teaching myself on YouTube, and we all know how that goes. My form was trash. My lifting
We
was
all start somewhere.
everybody has to
starts
go
somewhere.
through it. Like it's like an initiation into like fitness. You like come and you kind of make a
I
fool of yourself.
I really want everybody to hear this because you're a trainer. You're
Yeah.
not correcting people how to do this.
Yeah.
And I think everybody gets intimidated. They don't know how to do something.
Everybody has to
We
start somewhere.
all start somewhere.
Yeah, no, you can't start fitness or going to the gym without making a fool of yourself to begin with, because you will, and it's going to be okay, and there's
it's
going to be
okay.
people to help you, and you just kind of have to embrace it and love that journey and like look back on and see how much you've grown. But I started this boot camp as a member, and that was in September. By October, I was approached by the owner and was asked if I was interested in maybe teaching some classes. And I was like, oh my gosh,
cool.
me. And at this point, I had my teaching degree, but I've seen how COVID changed the teaching world. And I didn't know if I loved how this new teaching world was becoming. And so having the opportunity of somebody saying, hey, you're still going to be teaching in some way, shape, or form. And since I had a science background, fitness isn't like, you know, biology, but there's still a lot of science rooted into it.
Yes.
I was like, this is going to be like a mesh of both worlds, this new hobby that I fell in love with, still using my love for teaching. And I will say teaching adults is so much better than children. 'Cause I'm so sorry for any teachers out there, or any parents, but like some of y'all are rough. I substituted 5th and 6th grade, which was probably, and middle school. I wore a lot of hats, but
No, I have 2 kids, and that's the only 2 I can handle.
yeah. And you have kids who are in the grades that I substitute taught, so you know how it is. But I got approached, and I was like, you know, this is a dream come true, and I started training a couple classes. By November, I was fully onboarded and trained, and I was training ladies in the boot camp, and that morphed into I'm now the head trainer at a different location, and that started this year in January.
So can you tell me like what it makes you happy to do that? Like any of the ladies there that makes you like excited to see why you're doing this? And
So I love that it is an all women gym because there's just something different about going into a place that's just dripping and women empowerment and like women supporting women that you don't get anywhere else.
Yeah.
We also have a variety of women, so it's not just like athletes or bodybuilders or powerlifters or whatever. It's people of all shapes and sizes, all ages. We have people from 18 to 80. We have people who have like a prosthetic leg. We have stroke survivors.
Really? That's very cool.
So just working with such a variety of people and seeing them all find this love for fitness that I found as well, and helping them along that journey and seeing transformations. That's probably my favorite thing, is to see.
Also, that brings me to another point. You're a nutritionist too, right?
Yes. Yeah. So I have my personal training certification, which Nadia has as well. We're both personal trainer certified.
Yes.
But I have my nutrition degree, which also like boosted, because again, science background. Like I was like, absolutely. So with my science and my nutrition and my personal training certification, I'm able to change a lot of women's lives. And if any of you are listening who are any of my clients and want to like comment your success stories and like hype a girl up,
Yes.
Do that, you know, that'd be great. But you know, it's up to you. So that's
100%.
really awesome. It's just seeing them find this like new love and life and taking control of their bodies and finding that.
And speaking, taking control of your body, you went to this journey of losing weight and getting fit, but then you start bodybuilding, right?
Yeah.
How you start that? Can you tell everybody that?
So I'm a person who I will dive into things head first, kind of like a rhinoceros. Like I just,
And you were in prep for a long time.
yes. So I started the boot camp position. And I did that. And then February of 2022, I lost, some weight. I was feeling good. I was feeling like I knew my stuff, but I wanted something to challenge myself.
Right.
I looked a little bit into powerlifting, and I don't know what happened, but I just remember scrolling through like TikTok. And I was seeing these videos because obviously TikTok and the algorithm was following me. So I was seeing a lot of fitness videos. I saw a bodybuilder on one of the videos, and I just remember thinking, dang, she is so elegant and so strong. And then
That's amazing.
diving into that, the mental toughness, the physical toughness, and being such a big kid when I was growing up.
Which that gives me a good point. It's only like 2%
Yeah.
of people do this.
Yeah.
It's not for the weak.
Yeah. So I knew like the past me would, if I was able to do something like this, the past me, like young me, baby me, would be so proud. And I just really wanted to do that. So I remember Googling bodybuilding coaches near me, finding the first one, calling them, having a conversation and going, and then I immediately paid and signed up 5 minutes after the
That's
phone call.
how you have to do things sometimes. Is you just go in. Just don't think too much.
I mean,
go in.
within reason, listeners, within reason. But I've been with them since then. My prep was 9 months.
That's a
Long.
long prep. If anybody up there been doing bodybuilding, knowing how would you say, 9 months,
Yeah.
you're gonna be exhausted.
Yeah.
You're gonna be tired.
I prepped from February of 2022, and I stepped on stage November of the same year. And I was in prep that entire time.
wow.
And during this, I got my surgery. I got a breast augmentation. I'm not ashamed to say it. We could do a podcast on that as
Hell
well.
no, hell for the boobies. I got it too, so.
Yeah. So I had that. So I had recovery. Then I was engaged in last April. So I got married 4 weeks before my show and went on honeymoon, which is not recommended. And I think if my coach realized it, we probably wouldn't have done the like November show, but it was already too late and I signed up and that was a whole like thing. and a half.
Bodybuilding is your love right now.
Yeah.
Besides your husband.
Oh, yeah.
But tell me, what is your favorite memory in November? What is the future for you look like in the bodybuilding journey?
So my favorite thing about bodybuilding in general is the posing. Like that's just something that I've connected with. At first I sucked 100%. You did too.
All the time.
And the longer I've done it, the more I've absolutely just kind of loved that regalness that you have to put in and being so in tune with your body in order to hit these different poses. And honestly, there is no other feeling, and you know this too, because you did a show as well.
Yeah.
Is the feeling on stage?
Can you explain a little bit in your own words? What does that feel?
It's almost like I don't want to say that it's like childbirth because that also doesn't make any sense, but it's not something that you can like really put into
Describe,
words. It's just this high, you go in there, you poured your heart out for
Well, this adrenaline, it's a
weeks,
different type
months.
of adrenaline that
Yeah.
goes through your veins.
And it's only like a short amount of time and you're laying out all of your hard work. I mean, you're in barely anything, just bearing your soul out in your hard work and everything that you worked so hard for. And your whole prep is like rushing back at you and you're seeing your friends and family or you're seeing the judges and it's the music and the lights and it's just all of it happening at once. I remember getting off stage after prejudging and with the biggest smile on my face, feeling like I just shotgunned 50 Red Bulls. And I like looked the coach and I was like, this is the best moment of my life. We never even did placings or anything, but just stepping off, I was like,
that's when you know you're enjoying what
Yeah.
you're doing. You don't need somebody to give you a medal.
Yeah.
Because you already won. Like
Yeah.
that's when you know this is for you.
Yeah.
And she actually won.
I went into 6 classes in
Yeah.
my show. I went into wellness, true novice, and open, and I did the same in bikini. Now, because I had my wedding 4 weeks beforehand, which is not recommended, and I went on my honeymoon, I had a bust booty for 4 weeks afterwards before the show. And I was not as lean as I should have been for bikini, but it helped me in wellness because my legs stayed pretty good size. And if people don't know, wellness is all about the bigger legs, the bigger quads, the bigger glutes.
Which you have.
So I did win my True Novice and Open in my wellness class, and I was in the wellness SmackDown, but because I wasn't lean enough, obviously didn't have the like tie-ins and everything as the other girl who won, who was drop dead amazing. But I was in the top 5 in bikini for my classes, so I'm gonna say I did pretty okay.
I think she did awesome.
Aww,
she doesn't give herself enough praise. She did awesome. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. So tell me, what was the transition after being all lean? Because we all experience this, and then we gotta work into the next season, work into the next stage, because we're gonna keep competing, right? How was the transition from cutting to not going to off season mentally?
So I'm still. I mean, we still have ups and downs. I think the biggest thing is my prep was 9 months long.
Explain people what is that, because a lot of people don't.
Yeah, so I was on like kind of a strict diet. So prep is when you're prepping for a show and you're on, low calories. It gets decreased as you go along because you're losing body fat. You're wanting to lose as much body fat as possible up until you get on stage. So I was doing that for 9 months. So for 9 months, I was getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I used to be a big girl, like I'm getting like a tiny waist, and I'm losing 5 pounds this week, and I'm like losing another pound, and I'm able to wear the crop tops. And I went from a size large to a size extra small in my entire prep. I lost about 30 to 40 pounds on my prep. So I just had 9 months of like getting smaller and smaller and wearing like stuff that I wouldn't have worn before. And then after my show, obviously in off season, you have to gain a little bit more body fat because you need to be a healthy human being, and you can't be like 2% body fat forever. And so now the scale was going the other way. The measurements were going the other way.
It's very different how that like mess your brain a little bit.
Yeah. And that happened in a shorter amount of time. And so that was like for 9 months, I was looking at the scale one way, and now I have to look at it a whole new different way. And that's hard. And I've only finally started to get
enjoy it.
Yeah, to finally start to get into that like off-season mindset of like being okay with it and doing it the right way and all of that. But
and off-season means getting a little bit of weight the right way, eating the right things so she can get more muscle. So by the next show, whenever she's cutting, it shows more muscle and more definition. That's all it is for off season.
Yeah, because you can't build muscle while you're in a deficit. So obviously you're in maintenance or a surplus.
Yes. All the ladies want a big booty, but they want to be lean. That's not going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, I tried on because I was prepping last summer. So I had like a bunch of like cute summer clothes, and I like tried them on, and the booty has grown. The booty has not allowed me to wear a lot of pants that I wore last year, and that was a big thing for me mentally. But it's also kind of like I'm doing what I'm supposed to. Like I'm growing what I need to. So even though it kind of sucks when you first like try it on, you're like, shoot, well, it doesn't even go up one like booty cheek. Well, that I also have to take a step back and be like, well, I gained a muscle. Like, don't I want that? And then use it as a celebration instead of being negative, using it as like a positive.
That's the whole point of the podcast. It's girls with gains. It's not to try to be a little bit bitties.
No, we're here for like big muscles and everything. So
yes. Well, Zandri, do you have any advice for all the listeners or anything you'd like to add?
I think my biggest piece of advice is find something that makes you just, I don't know how to explain it. Like it's with bodybuilding. I do the work. I do eat the food. I track the macros because I love it. You have to find something that you love.
Yes.
Whether it is, maybe you love yoga. Maybe that is your meditation state.
Or the runners.
Or running. Maybe the runner's high is what you chase for. You love doing the 5Ks and that's like what you do. Maybe you're a power lifter and like.
We're doing one tomorrow type of.
Yeah, we are doing a 5K tomorrow night. It's a fun 5K, but maybe it's like a powerlifting, you want to get the new PR. If it's CrossFit, you want to be able to like hit these goals. You just have to find something that speaks to your soul.
Something that challenges you.
Yes, and challenges you and makes you Because sometimes going to the gym just to go to the gym is hard. You need to have that love and that want and that challenge and that goal to drive you. You need to find your why. I think that's what my advice would be, is to find your why.
That's beautiful to say. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We should trademark that, but I don't think we can because I feel like a lot of people say that.
I mean, we do it too.
Yeah.
Sometimes we come to the gym and we're like, just don't want to do this.
Yeah, and then you have to remember why you're
like,
doing
well, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Why are you eating chicken for the 5th day in a row?
Yes.
Why are you eating? But you do it because there's a higher purpose. There's a bigger goal, a bigger challenge that you're trying to achieve.
Yes.
Yeah. I got really sentimental. I got really sentimental real fast.
Yes. Well, I think that's all we got for today, right?
Yeah, I think our next podcast, we are thinking of, we're going to talk a little bit about HIIT, so high intensity interval training. So that's going to be your like CrossFit, your boot camps versus weightlifting.
Like, that's where I go.
Yeah, so we're going to do that. If you guys have any questions that you want to hear on that podcast, like drop them down ASAP, message us, comment, DM us. If there's any other topics that you guys want us to talk about, nutrition, fitness, bodybuilding, not bodybuilding,
anything, please help us to get better.
Yes.
This is our number 3 times. We only have recorded 3
this
times.
Is our like second official episode.
Yes.
We had like the intro before that, but I don't know if we can count that. But I mean, this is your guys' podcast as well. What you want to listen to, we will make for you. So if you want to hear certain topics and have certain questions, we might even do like a Q&A.
Oh my gosh, yes.
That would be good. So if you guys have questions or anything, if it's a big enough topic for us to make a whole episode out of, we will definitely do that. But we might be dropping a Q&A, or if there's people you want us to interview.
That's actually a great idea. What do you guys think?
Yeah, comment below, DMS, all of that. And
remember to follow us on Instagram, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Twitter,
TikTok. Did we say TikTok? No, I don't think so. And we're also trying to get on, if this episode is on here yet, don't know, but we're also trying to get on Google Podcasts as well.
Yes.
So there is no excuse for you not to listen. And even if you listen it on Spotify,
remember,
you can
Girls
listen
Got
it.
Gains.
Yeah, Girls Got Gains. Listen it to all platforms. Even if you've like already listened to one on YouTube, like listen to it on Spotify. You know, give us that help here.
Yes. Thank you guys for listening.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.